Hello, everybody. Welcome back. Yeah, let's learn a little bit more about our sheriffs. What they're, what kind of things, what kind of situations, positions they're up against with regards to their obligations and their duties. What's going on in the world? Them getting a paycheck from the people to do their job with an oath that they took to the Constitution. And so right now, Sheriff Pat Whiteford, Under Sheriff Wagner II, and Jail Sergeant Joe Leach here in Kalkaska County. I'm going to get a grand jury, and they're going to go before it. The court has been held. Unrebuted. Now it's time for sentencing and restoration and to clean up the Kalkaska County Sheriff's Department and the Kalkaska County courts. By God, it will be done. We don't pay these people to punish us. No, we don't. What's the sheriff's duty? They are vast. Is he supposed to be out there citing you for doing road pirate stuff against you? Good golly, no. Who educated these guys? Who dumbed them down to the point that they go out and attack you against their oath? What made them so dumbed down they can't even read the simplest of words? And how come the bar figured they'd get away with this? And they have for so long. Who advises our legislators? What happens every time somebody wants to know? Oh, they go talk to an attorney. Yeah, I'm getting tired of these constitutional sheriffs wanting to go talk to a British agent. Conspiracy. Now, things are getting serious because the truth is now known. The uncommon knowledge is common knowledge in this boy's head. And I'm going to make sure that all Americans know everything as early as possible, as we are in a state of emergency here in Michigan. We are. I'm going to do a little bit of reading. I got some commentary to go with this. This is so serious. It is unbelievably serious. It is life and death serious. It has been for a long time. How many free men are in prison in Michigan and us taxpayers are paying for it? Don't you understand? Freedom and liberty is yours. We gotta unslave you. You are so MK Ultra'd. You just can't figure this out. I'm here to do that with constitutional kiss. I'm gonna make this so stupidly simple that the stupid can understand it and that the dumbed down can grasp it enough to own it. By God. All right. Some of you might think I'm a rebel. I'm American. This ain't a rebel hat. It's a biker hat. You see all these holes in here? That's wear. I bought this hat in a Harley dealership in Ohio when my wife was carrying my firstborn. I bought one for him and I bought one for her. I still have mine. Organization of sheriff departments. And if I hold it like this, looks like I'm looking in the camera. I kind of like that better. The sheriff, in light of these guidelines, structure the department as he or she wishes. You get so much latitude, Sheriff. Traditionally, departments are organized in a bureaucratic, rational organization system. Weber's theory of bureaucracy provides us the basis for the structure of rational organization. Yeah, good old Weber's. The basic elements of the structure include a fixed division of labor, a hierarchy of offices, and a general set of rules. These characteristics define the rational theory, and these attributes fit into the mindset of most sheriffs. Yeah, the mindsets and the thoughts of a couple of sheriffs is the topic of the day. Law enforcement leaders want to efficiently use tax dollars to catch bad guys. Give me a break. Well, I need it for Kalkaska County because I did all the work. I held court. I prove that my oil rinse will eliminate the harm or greatly reduce it of tooth decay, of toxic teeth, of receding gums, which science gave up on until I did it. And then that National Institute wanted to fund $1.8 billion a year to find another way to do it and send me to jail. And I go through years and years of government attacks. And I get Gretchen Whitmer in court, a bar attorney, a governor. And she loses. Now, I got some other people in a court of record, like the Kalkaska County prosecutor, on the same day it was handed to the sheriff's department into the hands of Jail Sergeant Joe Leach, who the department represented to me was the under sheriff. It's all on their video. It's all on their audio. It all happened right there in their department. Lying cowards. I've been trying to meet with that sheriff the better part of this year. He don't want to return phone calls. He don't want to schedule a meeting. Well, now we've held court. And now he needs to sit in front of his peers for the judgment and the restitution. And that department needs to be cleaned up because the good people of Kalkaska County deserve what they pay for. So, since these sheriffs got such a problem with jurisdiction, I fix that for them. They seem to want to disregard that. Want to talk to an attorney? I don't care. I don't care what they think, what they do. If they're all treasonous rats, then they all go down. The bar is going to be abrogated from Michigan. The American Medical Association will be abrogated. The American Dental Association, gone. We're bringing back good care. We're bringing peace. See, Sheriff, that's what your duty is. One of your primary duties is maintaining the peace, not being a road pirate. And when I get through reading, I get a little bit more reading into this, you're going to see it's bar attorneys that got you doing that. British agents. Same way the sheriff's department was developed. I got a feeling them British agents never got their teeth out. And I understand some people might think I'm biting off more than I can chew. Well, I'm a dental expert and I'm pretty darn good about what I can bite and what I can chew, especially when it comes to the law. And the power of the people and men and what men do in the name of God. The problem arises when the attention to efficiency and expenditure of funds gets in the way of catching bad guys. There is almost always a trade-off between efficiency and effectiveness. Most rational organizations are very efficient at what they do. However, quite a few are not effective. When an organization does not have clear, attainable, measurable goals, such as in law enforcement, then the rational organizational theory becomes less useful. For example, the rational model would suggest that a rule be drawn up that says a deputy sheriff, Jason Sixberry, hope you're paying attention to this, Deputy Jason Sixberry. When an organization does not have clear, attainable, measurable goals, such as in law enforcement, how can law enforcement not have clear, attainable goals? How? My God. When an organization does not have clear, attainable, measurable goals, such as in law enforcement, then rational organizational theory becomes less useful. Yeah, well, it's time to apply a little bit of critical thinking. Yeah. You better think about what happens when a charge of treason is brought upon a man and how that man is going to feel about that. Maladministration is enough to get you put away for a long time. Just maladministration. Maladministration and treason and fraud and conspiracy. Lord have mercy. There's almost always a trade-off between efficiency and effectiveness. Most rational organizations are very efficient at what they do. However, quite a few are not effective. Yeah, well, we got a non-effective sheriff's department here in Kalkaska County. It's a fact. And we're going to fix it. Is the governor going to fix it? Nope. Is the military going to fix it? They've been called, they've been ordered by the civil. Evidence of treason throughout government, Court cases held in their hand and in order. 3 garrison commanders are going to have to answer for that. I want their anuses here, in front of me, where I ordered them. Something tells me they talked to some military attorney who decided to call the governor. And then the FBI stepped in, and the FBI says, "Oh, we got this nutcase up here in Kalkaska County, so you guys just stand down." And then Sheriff Dar Leaf finds himself involved in this before I ever contacted him. Because an American was caught up in that FBI shit, and Dar Leaf wants to help him. Well, what about the 8 billion people and all their pets and their livestock? Dar Leaf, what about your mouth? You don't care, do you? You just don't care. Or you're a coward. Or you're paid off. Or you're just so brainwashed you don't get it. And now that's going to cause a real problem for your deputy, sir. He'd be a respondent. He's got a duty to deal with you if you show treason in front of him. Now, you've both been operating outside of your jurisdiction for a long time, so I don't want to hear nothing about operating outside of jurisdiction. You've been operating outside the Constitution for a long time. I don't want to hear nothing about operating outside of your jurisdiction. I can't operate outside of my jurisdiction. I cannot obey your order. And you can pay the penalty for it. For example, the rational model would suggest that a rule be drawn up that says a deputy sheriff would write 15 tickets per shift. 15 tickets per shift, write up a rule. That's not the deputy. Treason. Making slaves out of you. Again, this is a little bit of brain restoration work. Unslaving you one bit of uncommon knowledge at a time. Going to make this common knowledge. Because Americans, if you knew who you were, we wouldn't be going through none of this. You would be so happy and healthy and prosperous and innovative. It'd be like a completely different world. The key to breaking these chains and unslaving my American brothers and sisters is in the sheriff's department, where I'm dealing with one man. One man. Got to make a decision. He makes a bad decision. The next one down the line is in the position that the sheriff was in. And so on through the chain of command. Find out if I'm biting off more than I can chew. I'm going to make a prediction. I'm going to make a prediction right here and now. Michigan is going to be the first state to be a free republic state for the first time in a long time. It's my prediction. Also predict this is going to happen very soon. I'm not in the business of predictions. Are you serious? Therefore, the department makes the rule that deputy sheriffs should write traffic tickets with no specific standard of how many. Well, I'm going to tell you what the standard should be. You ought to be putting those citations on commerce, making sure that those trucks are not dangerous on our highways and byways so that you keep us safe. Don't keep me safe by throwing me in jail because I had marijuana and marijuana is too dangerous for me. No, you don't make that decision. You decide whether those wheels on that truck are safe. So if my grandchildren happen to be in the area of that truck and that truck or any other, my brothers or sisters, I care about them all. It's hard to love more than I love my blood, my direct bloodline. You getting this, Sixberry? You getting this, Leaf? You know what these guys in Kalkaska County are facing. You know what the governor's facing. You know what the head of the DEA is facing, the head of the USPTO, and more. You know what they're facing. They lost. Okay. Court happens fast. It doesn't have to be 72 hours. It can be 24 hours. It could be 5 days. Free men are in prison because of men like you, Dar Leaf, Jason Sixberry. The whole world has been denied optimal oral health because of men like you, Dar Leaf and Jason Sixberry. And nobody's been in a position to do anything about it. Well, actually, there have been bar attorneys. All they had to do is say, hey, Americans, you got the best PMA ever. You're free. You got national immunity, diplomatic immunity. You got immunity from arrest. You got franchise on liberty and freedom. You don't need to be paying us for all this worthless advice because we're just tricking you and trapping you and rapping you and raping you and pillaging you. And yeah, see, the bar could have fixed this. But they've been so busy dumbing everybody down for generations so they keep this charade going that they got you so dumbed down, Sixberry and Leaf, that you're treasonous rats and you don't know it. And you go for advice to the ones who made you that way. Wakey, wakey. Americans, I'm looking to restore your brain to a pre-wash condition so that you are able to educate yourself and learn a couple of things. You're an American. You have immunity from arrest. What's arrest? Being stopped. You got franchise on your liberty. You got franchise on your rights. And your servants have a duty and obligation. They do not have authority to trample your rights. Well, I'm here to set you free, America. I'm the only one spitting the kind of truth that I am spitting. I'm going to get that notice of done. We're going to get it up on People's Bureau of Investigation website. It's going to be available for all of you. You take that and you serve it on to your sheriff. And you tell him it's over. We know. You better wake up. Maybe for making widgets or something, it can work. But for nearly all public sector services, the rational model is difficult to apply. What bar attorney was involved in writing this crap? Strict rules governing the behavior of the deputies are an attempt to control the direct exclude exhaustive policy and procedures exist. Oh no, I skipped something. Strict rules governing the behavior of deputies are an attempt to control and direct the deputies' behavior. Exhaustive policy and procedures exist in sheriff's departments. However, deputies act in an autonomous manner. Constructive ways to supervise deputies when they are out on patrol do not exist. Oh, yeah, right. Like body cams and recording devices. It just don't exist. Yep, can't monitor your deputy. But we can have seed to sale tracking on marijuana. Seed to sale tracking on the marijuana, but we can't keep an eye on our deputy? Give me a break. Good God. The rational system tries to take the decision-making process out of the hands of the line worker and place all decision-making in the hands of supervisors. Idiot. That is the stupidest damn thing I've ever. You know where innovation comes from? It comes from the line worker. It comes from the guy that gets his hands dirty. That's where a lot of it comes from, not from the supervisor. You know, supervisors can be inventive. You got to be able to call out stupidity when you see it. You better call out harm when you see it. And if it's your duty to do something about it, by God, do it. I am. I am. You better believe it. There's other men. And no fear. No fear of another man. None. And our spines are steeled. This creates a major problem for deputies who are obligated by law to detect and enforce crimes. You hear that, Sixberry? Do you hear that, Sixberry? I hope you watch this. Maybe somebody pass the word along to you. This creates major problems for deputies who are obligated by law to detect and enforce crimes. So, Sixberry, you and your sheriff are going to be facing. You're faced with a situation right now. You do not have to enter into court. To simply recognize my authority and the order I gave you and take care of business. When I take you into the people's court, you will be there. Because I'll serve the paperwork right in your lobby. You can't refuse service. You can't dodge this. And then there's a decision to be made about remedy in a time period when court ends. No court has jurisdiction to rehear these matters once they are closed. Then it's time for the jury. If your deputy has no discretion about the decisions to enforce laws, then the deputy has a very limited capacity to protect the citizens. Now, Sixberry, you got a duty to protect the citizens. You're getting paid to do it. 15 million root canal teeth in America every year. Everyone a toxic tooth. Already harm has been done. And now we get more harm. And they know that they're doing it. They've known this since the early 1900s. That is nefarious, evil, wicked. That is going to bust the ADA, and I will own their assets. Fact. They've snubbed their nose at this so that you be sick, so you'll be broke. Well, they keep going with this MK Ultra brainwashing, enslaving you deeper and deeper and deeper into the pit. Dar Leaf and Jason Sixberry, if you are Americans, I'm your best friend. Guaranteed. I'll look out for you better than anybody you've ever known when it comes to your rights, when it comes to your privileges, when it comes to your immunities. And if you're a treasonous rat, by God, I got a bite. I do. And I apply it on treason. I'm a fixer. That's what I do. Seems to be a life history. Fixing things. Now we're going to fix the great state of Michigan. Dar Leaf and Jason Sixberry, you going to be a part of that, or are you going to be behind bars with Gretchen, with Whiteford, Wagner, Leach? This should be an easy decision, gentlemen. I would advise to be careful about your counsel. It is quite apparent that Sheriff Mack is a gatekeeper. He's there for a reason. So when you get, if you happen to escape that MK Ultra enough, and you start to want to understand a few things, and you can't figure it out, and you want to do this, hey, Sheriff Mack, blah, blah, blah. And Sheriff Mack with a big old smile, happy face, he's going to just steer you right back into slavery. Because he's a gatekeeper. In my opinion, Sheriff Mack is a gatekeeper. His actions and the education he gives are all indications that he's a gatekeeper. And Sheriff Mack, I invite you to come on live with me. Give you an opportunity to answer these opinions and claims that I'm making. These opinions I'm giving and these claims that I'm making. Anytime. 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. As long as I have notice, I will accommodate you, sir. Because people look up to you, Sheriff Mack. They respect you as a constitutional sheriff. I don't. With good reason. Americans, you have immunity from arrest. What is arrest? Look it up in the Old English Dictionary. Do you think your forefathers had a Black's Law, 4th edition, 5th edition, 6th edition? Do you think they were even using legalese? Now, they had, statutory stuff going on, but those statutes were in line with the common law. But that was the foot in the door for the bar. And then they just used that to network into everything. Why do you advertise as a constitutional sheriff? Isn't that your stinking description by fact? Aren't you elected? Don't you swear oath to the Constitution? So why do you feel the need to advertise as a constitutional sheriff? That would indicate to me that there's a lot of sheriffs that are not advertising as constitutional. So how come your advertising is constitutional? And then when the people come to you and ask you, you don't return a phone call. How come when the people come and put evidence in front of you, you want to turn a blind eye? Why? Sheriff Dar Leaf. How many men are sitting in prison today that don't belong there, Sheriff Dar Leaf? How many brainwashed slaves are being attacked by road pirates today, Sheriff Dar Leaf? How many people are dealing with so many issues in administrative courts where they don't belong, Sheriff Dar Leaf? How many? I'm going to tell you, if it's more than zero, it's too many. Americans, I'm showing you how to talk with and to your sheriff. Am I afraid? No. Sheriff Dar Leaf is afraid. He was afraid when the boys showed up. He thought the deep state was setting him up. I'm glad you're feeling some fear, Sheriff Dar Leaf. God will do that. God will put the fear into man. Now, if you're fearing men, you're in the wrong team. I'm taking care of business. You fear God, just pick up that phone, give me a call. You can just accept an order. You shouldn't even have to. The evidence is in your hands. The evidence is in your hands. You could straighten out your department, but you won't. I'm going to straighten out the state because I can. And nothing's going to stop what's coming. I love you, Sheriff Dar Leaf. Jason Sixberry. You can help me destroy evil, or you can be part of the evil that's destroyed. It's just that simple. It's your choice. This isn't about my feelings. It's not. This is about right and wrong. It's about good and evil. It's about duty and responsibility. You men are getting paid. You asked to be in that seat. Vote for me. Vote for me. Now own it.